everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Garden Turns. So if you can't tell by this video, because I don't know if you can see the chocolate and the caramel and the peanut, we're doing a dessert video in this go around. All right, so in this video today, it's Friday, by the way, and I love doing like nice weird things, maybe like copycat recipes or copycat twist recipes, which this just happens to be. And then I've also lately been on an ice cream sandwich kick. I've been making ice cream sandwiches like I'm crazy. Every week I have been trying to do a different variety of ice cream sandwich, and this week is no different. Okay, y'all? So you may wonder, what are we going to be doing here today in this video? We are going to be making Whatchamacallit Rice Crispy Treats ice cream sandwiches. And yes, I said Whatchamacallit. Whatchamacallit used to be one of my favorite candy bars. I had thought at one point they had stopped making it because I hadn't eaten it in a while. But I was at Walmart the other day and I ate one and I was like, oh, I saw one. I bought it and I ate it and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember Whatchamacallit. So I want to make a copycat twist on the traditional Whatchamacallit bar. Sorry, y'all. And I'm going to be doing Rice Crispy Treat Whatchamacallit bars, and then I'm going to turn those into ice cream sandwiches. And I'm going to have some peanut butter ice cream with some peanut butter chocolate chips. That's why I got this. And then you going to see. It's all in my head. I just got to get it out and put it into the workings. You know what I'm saying? All right. Before we get started, though, y'all, let me tell y'all a little bit about the Whatchamacallit bar. I've started to love the history of food. I'm starting to really get into that, you know. So the Whatchamacallit bar was chosen, the name for it was chosen because it is a catchy, memorable, and fun name. And according to Hersheyland, it was a play on the phrase that people use when they can't quite remember somebody or a name or a thing. You'd be like, what you call that? I never say Whatchamacallit, but I say, what you call that? What you call that? Okay, so it's a play on what. Okay, the candy bar was first introduced by Hershey's in 1978. And also, did you know that there is a cousin to the Whatchamacallit bar in Canada, which shout out to Canada. It is known as the Special Crisp. Okay, that's the name of the bar that is in Canada. All right, so what we're going to be doing here first off is I bought this pan. I got this pan, y'all. This is a number pan. Like you can make numbers and letters and stuff like that. I got this pan at one of my thrift store visits last week. And I'm going to show y'all the box that it came in. But so it's a party cake pan. And since I'm having my 30th anniversary on the 26th, which also happens to be Memorial Day, we are going to be doing a prom on that day. And I'm trying to think, should I do like a 30, because we're 30 years married, more together, but 30 years married. Am I going to do, can I do something with this to make the three of me? Oh, I don't know. But if I do, y'all will find out. Okay. So I got that at the thrift store, along with some other things that I'm gonna have to show you guys in another video. It was really cool. But that's what this is. So I also have, you're gonna need some caramel bits, which I have here. This is probably about a cup of caramel bits. And this is what I had left over. That was another reason why I decided to do this recipe, because I had a lot of stuff that was left over. And then this is some chocolate chips, probably about a half a cup chocolate chips, and 4 cubes of almond bark, which was also left over from another thing that I did. You're going to need some peanut butter, and it doesn't matter what kind, if it's creamy or chunky. Chunky probably would be better. My husband does not like chunky peanut butter. I do, but I don't eat peanut butter that much. He does, so we buy creamy. Okay, you're going to need some peanut butter chips. They only had Reese's at my store. You're going to need some marshmallows, which I have here. I have 2 half bags, so I'm going to be using the rest of these. Some Rice Krispies. I will not get the name brand, because why? These are $2, less than $2. They're like $1.77. And so they probably going to be going up just because the prices are going up on stuff at Walmart. Y'all, I just can't. Or as Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta said, I cannot. What is going on with the prices? What is okay. Let's get back to what we was doing. So, these are $1.77 at Walmart. This is a generic brand, and they work just as good. Okay, so you're also going to need some coconut oil and some ice cream. You can use any flavor that you like. I have a peanut butter. I think it's peanut butter cup. That's what they had yesterday. Yeah. Okay, so I have my pan, and then I got some butter here that I'm going to spread in the bottom of my pan. Even though this is not a non-stick pan, I don't want my stuff sticking. So I do know it has the ridges here. I don't mind. Okay, so we don't want the stuff to stick at all, because we're going to be putting caramel and chocolate in this pan, and we do not want it to stick at all anywhere. No how, no way. Okay, so you want to cover all the surfaces, even if it's a non-stick. This is non-stick, but I'm covering everything. Okay. Okay, so in my pot, I have about 2 tablespoons of butter. And I don't have the best looking pots and pans, but I promise you, when I get monetized, when I get this channel monetized, I'm gonna have all new cookware. I'm gonna just do a whole new celebration. Okay, so to my caramel, I do not have any heavy cream. You can add about a tablespoon of heavy cream. And since I don't have heavy cream, I do happen to have some evaporated milk that I had opened and it was in my refrigerator. So I'm gonna use that. So about a tablespoon of that evaporated milk. And then I'm gonna put this in my microwave in intervals of 30 seconds until it melts. Okay, so I'm gonna do that after I get this going because I don't want to be have to check everything, you know, be doing all that at once and still trying to stir this. Okay, so you got the butter melted. You have some marshmallows, and I have some mini marshmallows. I'm gonna cut my heat down here because it's really going. Now, I got a bunch of bags of marshmallows on clearance at Walmart about a month ago or something like that. They were like 25 cents a bag. My husband took a lot of them to work and gave them to like his co-workers, kids and stuff, so they can make stuff or eat them. I don't know what they did with them, but yeah, they were like 25 cents for bags of marshmallows. So that's about half a bag, and I just want to melt this down. And then I have another half bag here that I'm going to use to make it a little chunky. I like a little bit of a chunk of marshmallow in my marshmallow. You know what I'm saying? In my marshmallow snacks. Rice Krispie snacks, marshmallow snacks. I had to think there for a minute. I had lost my train of thought. Because I'm just thinking about like the prices at Walmart. They said that they were going to go up, but they've already went up. So I don't know like how much more they're going to go up. Like I went and bought bacon a couple weeks ago. It was like $3 and something. I went to get bacon, which I refused to buy. It was $1 and something more. And I was like, oh, hell no. Nope. No. I went to Aldi and I got it for like $3.99. But I don't know, man. And I always say to my husband, how will people survive, you know? Once all of this stuff actually is up, as they like to say. It's like, I don't know. I just pray for us all. That's all. I really do. We should all pray for us. Even if you're not religious, just bow your head for 5 minutes. Okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter just because I like the taste of peanut butter. I want this to be a whatchamacallit. I don't want it to be a who or what. I think they actually got one of those. I think it's called a who's a what or something like that. But yeah, that's not what this is. This is a whatchamacallit. All right. So we want to get this marshmallow all melted down and mixed in very well with this peanut butter. Let me add some more. Like once you open a bag of marshmallows, they start sticking together, and that is not good. That is not good when they stick together. Okay, and then I also like a gooey marshmallow as well. Get this melted down, and then we're going to add our Rice Krispies. All right, so that is melted perfectly, and you can see there are little chunks of marshmallow still in there. Next, I'm going to pour in my Rice Krispies, and it's probably going to be about 1.5 cups of Rice Krispies, and you want to mix it together, and then bring over your pan. So let's mix this in. Like I say, I like a really chewy Rice Krispie treat. Bit of more. No, I think this is going to be perfect. So let me cut this off, and then I'm going to bring my pan over once I find where I put it. I put it over about the sink, and then I couldn't see it. Is this not crazy? Okay, so bring over your pan. Go ahead and dump in your Rice Krispies. And then you also kind of want this like a gooey, gooey for your ice cream. That'll make it better. All right, let me get my spatula. Sort of spread it with your hand first. Let me get some butter. That's the only thing that's gonna stop it from sticking. I may be making less of these because you do want it thin, but you don't want it too thin, you know? So let's do this. Because I'm using these as like measurements on my bars. Okay, so butter up your spatula. And then you want to press down to firm it up. Oh wow, it just catches onto these little pieces and pulls it back up. All right, now I'm gonna let this firm up. This is our layer of peanut butter Rice Krispies. Okay, here is our caramel. This has been in there for about a minute and 30 seconds, something like that. You can see it's smoothing out anyway. Okay, so you want to let this cool down just a bit before you pour it, so that it sticks to your actual Rice Krispie treats. Because if you pour it on there now, it'll be runny and it won't set right. So I'm gonna let this sit here for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna work on our chocolate. Remember, you put your chocolate in your bowl. Now we're gonna microwave. All right, so I brought over my Rice Krispie treats, and I have my caramel. You can see it is thickening it up a little bit. So you want to pour your caramel layer on. Spread that out. That is my chocolate. I don't have to stir it in a minute. Take it right to that edge. All right, now let me push this out of the way and grab my chocolate so I can stir it. Let's see here. Nope. All right, so I'm gonna throw this back in my microwave and get this melted, and then this is going on next. All right, so I'm gonna add my tablespoon of coconut oil. Mix this in. There's still a couple chunks. There's always a couple chunks left when I'm melting my chocolate, but they usually blend in really well. They go away as long as you stir them away anyway. So you want to stir in your coconut oil. You can see it's giving the chocolate a glisten. Nice shine on it. And this is also going to make the chocolate set harder, which is what you want. So you just want to stir it until all of that coconut oil has melted and all of your chocolate is melted. And I can still see a little piece of coconut oil in there. All right, so our chocolate is melted. Next, we want to pour our chocolate layer on top of our caramel layer. And the caramel layer has set. Let's spread this out first. Let's see. Spread that out. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna put this in the freezer to set, and then we're gonna cut them up and add our peanut butter ice cream with peanut butter chocolate chips. Okay, so here are the set whatchamacallit bars. You can see it's set. So now I just need to get this out of the pan so we can cut these. So let me see here. You know what? I think I can probably pry this up with a spatula. Let's see, without messing up my treats here. Yep. Okay. We kind of crack it, but we good. We good. We got it out. We got it out. Okay, let me show you the side of this. Look at that. What? That is a whatchamacallit bar if I've ever seen one. Okay, so now all we gotta do is cut this bad boy up. All right, let me get this out of the way. And I got my bread knife to slice. And I can see the patterns here in the bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut this with, where, if you saw my pan, there were intervals of 6. So as you can see, 2, 4, 6. Okay, let's make sure we got it going the right way. I'm getting too excited here. Let me see. 2, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. So let's cut it down the middle first. All right. You can see 2. There. And then this is just going to be a bar here that we can eat. Okay. Look at that. This is a whatchamacallit bar. I'm going to turn these into delicious ice cream sandwiches next. Whatchamacallit. Okay, so next I have some peanut butter cup ice cream in a bowl. I'm gonna open this ice cream here, and I've had this sitting out here for about 5 minutes or so just to soften it up just a bit so I can handle it. And I want to scoop a couple scoops here into my bowl. So we're gonna have, let's see, 3 sandwiches, which is enough for us. And so let's do 3 scoops of ice cream. That wasn't full. All right, I'm gonna put the top back on this and place this back in my freezer. All right, now I have my Reese's chips, peanut butter chocolate chips. And just so I don't add too many, I'm gonna add about a half a cup of chocolate chips to my ice cream. And you wanna get your spoon and mix that up in there. Chop it up. You know what? You could even put some chocolate drizzle in here if you want to. I'm not going to, though. Get that mixed all in. Okay. Next, let's bring up our treats here. Put this on so I can handle it better. All right, so we have 2 of our whatchamacallit treats. I'm gonna put one with the chocolate side down already. We'll put both of them with the chocolate side up, okay? Because that's how we're gonna be putting the chocolate, the tops on. So you wanna take some of your ice cream and scoop it on. Take your top, smash it on. All right, then I have a knife, and I'm gonna smooth the ice cream in. I'm gonna put this in the freezer. And then any areas that need to be filled, I'm gonna pull it back out and fill them. So I'm gonna get some plastic wrap. Place your ice cream sandwich on there. You know what? Let's fill that before we put that in the freezer. That way it sets right. Let's wrap this up. And then the next one I'm gonna try with both sides with the Rice Krispies exposed. Let's try that. All right, I'm gonna throw this in the freezer, move on to the next. All right, grab 2 of your treats. I'm gonna try it this way. Grab your scoop. Let's scoop on some ice cream. Should have put this down first, but once I pick it up, I will. Okay, now you want to take your next Rice Krispie treat. Go ahead and push that down like so. Grab our knife. You want to smooth the sides. All right. Now let's get our plastic wrap. Pick this bad boy up. All right, and then wrap this, and then we're gonna move on to our next. So this will go in our freezer. You can see the ice cream there in the middle. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna cut one of these so you guys can see what it looks like, and I can see what it looks like as well. Whatchamacallit ice cream sandwiches. Okay, so let me pick this up. You can see that. So you can see the chocolate, caramel layer, Rice Krispie treat layer, ice cream, Rice Krispie caramel chocolate. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can cut this in half. So we're probably just gonna eat one of these together because this is pretty big. So I'm gonna cut it in half. And then this time, I got a bread knife, y'all. This was in my deep freezer. And my deep freezer freezes deep. All right, oh my gosh. Okay, so look at that ice cream in the middle there. That was hard to cut. So we're gonna let this sit out for a while so it can soften up. We don't wanna break nothing. So we got our chocolate, caramel, Rice Krispie, nice layer of ice cream with peanut butter chocolate chips, Rice Krispie, caramel, and chocolate. This is our Rice Krispie treat, Whatchamacallit Copycat ice cream sandwich. All right, y'all, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Then make this sandwich.